evening and welcome to the WDSU News Hot Seat. I'm Travers Mackel. Tonight, we are talking sports. The New Orleans Pelicans have been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Their season is over. They have 2 more games left in the regular season, and what's considered to be the biggest offseason in club history is looming. We have 2 guests tonight. Somebody who looks just like me, my brother, sports anchor Fletcher Mackel, and Jake Madison from Bourbon Street Shots. He covers the Pelicans. It's a great website, always a good read. Let's start off. First off here, the Pelicans have 2 more games left. They've been mathematically eliminated. Give a grade to the season, A, B, C, D, or F.
I would say C plus B minus. Obviously, you want to be in the playoffs, and I would say C plus B minus, or potentially even an incomplete. And I know that's a cop-out to give it an incomplete.
It's a cop-out. That's okay.
It is. I think it's an unsuccessful season because they went in, even though they retooled the roster a little bit, I still think they wanted to have playoff expectations, and Anthony Davis talked about being in the playoffs. But since they acquired DeMarcus Cousins, I think you have to push the reset and regrade them. And Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins have played well together. That's why I would move my grade from somewhere around a C plus, C minus to maybe a B minus, potentially even a B plus. You almost have to grade it on 2 different scales or 2 different ways because it's almost like 2 different teams.
Jake Madison, what is your grade here for the Pelicans now that the season is almost over?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much, I agree with you. You have to look at it in 2 different pieces. To start the year, it was an F. They were terrible. They got like 4 wins, I think, through the first couple of weeks. Then Holiday came back and they played about 500 basketball throughout that part. You're looking at a C plus, B minus right there. And then since the trade, it's been entirely different. And since they brought in DeMarcus Cousins and got through the initial struggles, they've put out there a top 5 defense and a top 10 offense showing the potential they have. So you want to grade them somewhere around a B minus B. Overall.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Anthony Davis and Cousins in the few games at the end of the season when they really kicked it into gear, I would say A, because they look so good together. But again, you're right. As a whole, it's hard to judge it in its entirety.
So let's talk about this. 2 years ago, this team was going upward. They had Monty Williams, Dell Demps, Anthony Davis was becoming the star that he is. They had just made the playoffs. Even though they went up against Golden State, there was momentum. And then Monty was fired. Surprisingly, to most people, that he was let go. What happens this offseason with Alvin Gentry, with Dell Demps? No one has a crystal ball, but are they retained, or does the team make changes like they did with Monty 2 years ago?
Do you want to start or should
Sure,
I?
Jake, go ahead.
I'll take that one. You know, honestly, I have no idea. It could go either way. I assume Mickey Loomis and the ownership will evaluate this team from top to bottom. There's cases to be made for retaining Alvin Gentry. This team has played well over the final stretch of games. Like you said, they've looked near unstoppable at times with Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins mixing quite well on the court, but you still can't put the past failures behind them. Last season, they said they missed the playoffs due to injuries. Well, this year they had a mostly healthy team and still struggled. You gotta, it's a strike against these guys. Dell Demps might have saved his job by bringing in DeMarcus Cousins, by finding a guy like Jordan Crawford out of the D-League. But at the same point, he overpaid Solomon Hill. Some of the other moves he's made hasn't worked out. There's cases for both sides.
Yeah, I would agree. And it really, I felt like you alluded to that it was wrong to fire Monty. I think
surprising to fire Monty.
And I think on paper, Dell sold it, or his vision he sold was, we're going to create the Deep South Golden State Warriors. Just like Mark Jackson had taken Golden State as far as he could, they hired Steve Kerr, they took off. I really think Dell sold Mickey Loomis and Tom and Gail Benson the goods of, hey, Monty's taken us as far as he can take us. We need Alvin to get us to the next level, and it didn't work out that way. I think, my personal opinion, is Dell is going to be let go. I certainly agree with Jake. You can make the argument that the DeMarcus Cousins trade should save his job. I just don't know if you're a championship organization, if you say one move bought him another year. Are you any better than mediocre if that is your mindset? So I think that they're going to part ways with Dell Demps, and they're probably going to promote Danny Ferry. And in league circles, some people may say Danny Ferry is more proven than Dell Demps. You may be helping your team, but I would project that Dell Demps is going to be gone. Gentry's a tougher case because the team has played so well lately, and he's shown that maybe he can get the best out of this team. If Alvin Gentry is let go, I think it's collateral damage from a hit on Dell Demps to use those terms.
All right, Jake.
Of the two, I think it's Demps who's most likely to be let go. I don't want to speculate on replacements as we have no idea. But when it comes to Gentry, the big knock on him has been he can't coach two bigs. But right now, the Pelicans are playing his style of ball. That's in transition, early shots in the shot clock. So they're playing exactly how he's meant to be coaching and how he wants this team to play with two bigs in kind of an unconventional style, and it's working.
Let me say this, though. I really do. You said in the opening monologue that this is the most important offseason. I really believe that. This is the most important offseason since the NBA relocated back here in 2002, because sneaking into the playoffs next year is not acceptable. That's not going to get it done. That's not going to put butts in seats. That's not going to get people excited. That's not going to prove to the NBA you are a potential championship contender. You have got to be, look, one or two are still probably going to be Golden State in the Spurs. But you've got to do maybe what the Houston Rockets did. The Houston Rockets snuck in last year. This year they put the new coach and the right pieces in place. They're going to finish third in the Western Conference. You've got to be
Utah Jazz.
Yeah, Utah Jazz this year. They took a step last year. They took a big step this year. You've got to be a bona fide playoff team from start to stop to keep DeMarcus Cousins here, even though money is a factor, and to really have people buy in and to really have a fan base buy in. No more of this, we've got to figure it out early in the season and sneak in. You've got to make the moves this summer that make you a legitimate playoff team.
Because let me ask you this, Jake. Is the window right now, we all know what a star Anthony Davis is and how big of a star Boogie Cousins is. Everybody said this could really work. You've got two of the best bigs, if not the two best bigs, in basketball. If the window's now, does Tom Benson and Gail Benson get impatient? Do they say, you know what? We're missing the best years of this team with a star player. I mean, is there any rebuild, or is it just kind of you got to bring the pieces in and you have to win right now, meaning next year?
You have to bring the pieces in right now, because after next season, DeMarcus Cousins is a free agent. Anthony Davis is already on his contract extension, and the clock's kind of ticking. You're only going to have these guys for so long, and if you can't put a proven winner on the court next year by making the right moves in this offseason, and I agree with you that this is probably the most pivotal one they've had right now. If you can't make the proper moves, bringing the right guys to start winning, you might lose DeMarcus Cousins next year, and then what do you have? And then after that, you've already lost him. What does Anthony Davis see with this franchise? Why wouldn't he bolt for greener pastures? Those are big questions this team needs to answer this offseason.
Yeah, I would say anybody who says this offseason isn't the most important one, that save your money or try to go look towards 2018 when Cousins can sign an extension, is completely off the reservation. You don't look too far down the line. You have to make the team that you have with these two all-star players. You have two pieces that most teams don't have. Now it's just about finding the right complementary players, the right staff, the right pieces in place, so to say. I always say that the best season that we've had here in New Orleans was 07-08. You had two all-stars. Chris Paul finished second in the MVP voting. He was an all-star. David West had a breakout season and was an all-star, and the complementary pieces did their job. Peja Stojakovic hit shots. Tyson Chandler was a defender and a garbage man. And Mo Pete
Gennaro Pargo
off the bench as a sixth man. But here's the thing. You had two all-stars and you finished second in the West. You have two all-stars. There is no excuse now for not being a truly legitimate bona fide playoff team that can win a round or two.
Let me ask you this. Everybody said the Boogie Cousins trade was a good one, that it can make this team better. He indicated at the All-Star game when he was traded, I may not want to sign an extension in the summer of 17. I may want to play out what's left of my contract. Is there any chance the Pelicans, the Bensons, and Mickey Loomis and Dell Demps can change that, can sign him this summer to a long-term extension before they start playing the 17-18 season?
They could. I don't think he has any incentive to do it.
Yeah, exactly. They can offer it to him. He's going to say no. He'll actually earn more money due to the CBA and how the salary cap and contracts in the NBA work if he waits until after next year. It's financially the right move to make.
Without question. And he can also see what this team does on a full season. Playing with Anthony Davis, is Alvin Gentry the right coach for him if Alvin Gentry is back? Are they headed in the right direction before he just, commits to a team long term that he's still feeling his way around?
But then does that put a lot of pressure on the Pelicans to win out the gate? Because if they start off bad, wouldn't there be pressure to just get rid of him then at the deadline?
Look, here's the thing. Sean Payton says this in football, and I know a lot of the hardcore basketball people hate when the football people draw parallels, but they are owned by the same people and they're operated by the same people. So these parallels, I think, do fit. You think of the Saints, and Sean Payton says it every year. We have to start fast, because when we start fast, we've had great seasons, 06, 09, 11, and when they haven't started fast, they haven't played well. When the Pelicans formerly the Hornets, have started fast. In 10-11, people were questioning, can Monty Williams be a good head coach? Is he too young? They started out 8-0. They made the playoffs. I go back to 07-08. They came back from Oklahoma City. You know, people were suspect if they were going to be here long term. They came out the gates very strong. Chris Paul emerged as a superstar. This team can't stumble to 3-7 in the first 10 next year and have people believe this is going to work. I'm not saying they have to be 10-0, but they better be more like 7-3 next year when the season opens.
Do you agree with that? It puts them in a real unique position. If they do stumble out the gate, what do they do with Cousins? Because they can't let somebody just walk in free agency at the end of what could be a bad season.
No, especially because they're not exactly going to have great draft picks at that point. You're not really a free agent destination when it comes to this franchise. You need to either keep talent you have or trade for talent that you don't have, and they're going to be put in a position to do one or the other about middle of next season if they get off to a slow start.
Let me ask you this question, because a lot of fans are watching this right now. Are fans engaged? Are they excited? It seemed like a lot of fan support was going this way, especially around December, January. The Boogie Cousins trade, I'll let you go with this one first, Jake, kind of reinvigorated the fan base, but can New Orleans hold on to that going into the 17-18 season? Because it's really important to have an engaged, excited fan base.
And when this franchise and the fans around it are engaged and are winning, that arena is one of the loudest in the league. We've heard from the Spurs from that 07-08 season say that was the toughest place they played on the road. So you really need to get that going. The Boogie trade was really the biggest one in the past 5, 6, 7 years of the NBA. So it generated a lot of excitement. You know, I'm at every game. There's people there. They're cheering for Boogie. It also helps that he's a very vocal player that I think fans like to see. So I think they can carry it over until next season. But if they start off slow, that attendance and that energy and excitement is going to drop.
Yeah, the thing that's always hurt them here is it's been such a roller coaster. You know, in 07-08, they got such tremendous momentum and even carried over into 8-9 when they made the playoffs and lost to the Denver Nuggets. But after that, they kind of fell off a cliff, so to say. They traded Tyson Chandler. They had some losing seasons because of injury. They couldn't sustain it. Then the whole Chris Paul situation. It's been so hard to sustain any level of success, whereas the Saints have been consistently good and had a great offense. Even if they didn't make the playoffs, Drew Brees and that offense were fun to watch, or are fun to watch, and they are in the race until the bitter end. So to me, the hard thing is sustaining any success. They really have to do that next season. Not to say they're going to lose more people, but it would just be so much better if they could have some run, 3 to 5 years of consistent success. I think it could really help basketball long term here in New Orleans.
All right. I wish we could talk all night about this.
I have one final question, real quick.
Go ahead.
Since you are very calm and eloquent, which one of us just yelled louder?
I mean, you're in the middle, so
Right.
And I'm right in your ear.
Go with him.
Yeah.
Go with him,
I was
Jake.
gonna say,
Answer Fletcher.
because we are loud.
Right. All right.
So-
Jake Madison, Bourbon Street Shots. Good website. Always a good read. Fletcher Mackel, WDSU. Sports anchor. I'm Travers Mackel. This is The Hot Seat. The Pelicans do have 2 more games left, and then we'll cover all of the developments that happen during the off season. Let's send it back to you at the news desk.